Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, I'm not necessarily a big fan of special invites, but there are situations where I think it's warranted. Now, in recent years, we had Kevin Levrone make a comeback. He was granted a special invite. And then we had Flex Wheeler also making a comeback, was granted a special invite. Now, in those two cases, we're talking about two of the greatest that ever stepped on the bodybuilding stage, two Hall of Famers, and I had no issue with either one of them receiving a special invite. Now, that brings us to the 2021 Mr. Olympia. Uh, in 2020, Flex Lewis was granted a special invite for the Mr. Olympia. Flex Lewis, a seven-time 212 Olympia champion, decides to step into the open. Typically, Mr. Olympia is qualified for life, but not for another division. So you would normally have to qualify for this division. But given the fact that he was a seven-time 212 champion, totally dominated the division, he was given a special invite, and I think it was well deserved. Now, unfortunately, he had to withdraw. He had an injury that needed to be attended to. He probably could have kept trained through it, and compete. He probably wouldn't have been at his best, and he could have done irreparable damage. So it did not make sense to continue training for the Olympia and possibly jeopardize his career. So he withdrew. Does he deserve to be invited again? My opinion, yes. He was invited because of his credentials, everything he has accomplished. He had to withdraw due to something out of his control. If he were pushed through and taken care of this injury after the Olympia, could have done irreparable damage and ended his career. Yes, in that circumstance, why not? He deserves to be invited again. Now we also have 2020 was a crazy year. It had this COVID virus, uh, shows that never took place, shows that were eventually rescheduled, took place in states that they typically don't take place in, and everything was crazy. We have Rafael Brandao, who had qualified for the Olympia, was all set to compete in the Olympia, contracts COVID, and all of a sudden, that's out the window. Does he deserve a special invite? Maybe under the circumstances, due to all that, everything that was going on, and the fact that, yes, he did qualify. The reason why he couldn't compete was totally out of his control. It might not be a bad idea to invite him. He earned his ticket to the Olympia, and he had no control over the circumstances that pulled him out of the Olympia. And now we also have Ruli Winkler. Ruli Winkler, if we look at progress pics of him leading up to the 2020 Mr. Olympia, it looked like he was going to bring in his all-time best package. Ruli Winkler is a top-tier athlete, perennial top 5 in the Mr. Olympia. Also, shortly before, actually very close to the Olympia, was sidetracked and couldn't get into this country due to the fact that he tested positive for COVID. First, he had, because of these crazy travel restrictions, he had to first go to Turkey, spend 2 weeks in Turkey, and then from there come to the U.S. He couldn't leave Turkey because he tested positive for the virus. Does he deserve a special invite? Once again, under the circumstances that were out of his control, the fact that he's a perennial top 5 in the Olympia, yes, I have no issue with him getting a special invite. I think he's earned the right to be there. Like I said, in the case of Rafael Brandao and Ruli Winkler, this virus situation totally out of their control. Flex Lewis, an injury that if he didn't attend to and kept on pushing through with his training, could have ended his career. Yes, in these circumstances, even though I'm not a big fan of special invites, I think they are warranted in these 3 situations. Okay, that's about it for this video. You might agree or disagree with what I've said. Either way, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. If you go to the description box, you will find links to Species Nutrition, the best nutritional products out there. And you'll also find the link to Mr. Potts Protein, the best protein-packed snacks you're going to find out there. Click on the links to each of those. Go to their websites. Check out their great products. And once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.